Hi, I'm Andrew McGonigle, Dr. Yogi. Today we're going to talk about the science behind why yoga makes us feel so good. I'd like to focus in on the neurological system just for a few moments and talk about how yoga makes us feel so good. So we can very roughly split the neurological system into two different components. We have our somatic system, which is involved in all the voluntary movement that we make, and we have our autonomic system, which is all the amazing processes that go on behind the scenes that we don't have conscious control of. This can be your heartbeat, your respiratory rate, your digestive system, immune system, to name but a few. So when we look at the autonomic system particularly, this can be split into two parts. We have the sympathetic nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system. Now, the sympathetic nervous system is our fight or flight response. It's been there since we basically became cavemen. And if we were to wake up one day and the saber-toothed tiger was staring down at us, we'd be able to either fight it or run away. And I suggest that you run away. But basically the problem with Western day lifestyle is that this sympathetic nervous system is switched on all the time. So whether that's you worrying about your job security, having problems at home, your commute to work, worrying about a tourist standing on the left side of the escalator on the underground, we basically feel stressed now most of the day. So this sympathetic nervous system switched on. So what happens here is that the brain picks up this perceived stress and it sends a signal to an area of the brain called the hypothalamus. The hypothalamus sends a signal to your pituitary gland. This is a small pea-like gland that's inside our skull. And the pituitary gland releases a chemical called ACTH. This chemical reaches the adrenal glands that sit on top of our kidneys. And the adrenal glands secrete two very potent chemicals called adrenaline and cortisol. I'm sure you've heard of both of these chemicals at some point. These chemicals surge through our body and they get absorbed by every single cell in the body. Our heart rate increases, our respiratory rate increases. Blood gets pushed to our muscles so that we can fight or flight, and it gets pushed away from our digestive system and our immune system. This is on a feedback loop. So these chemicals, adrenaline and cortisol, are also picked up by our hypothalamus that send a signal to the pituitary gland that sends a signal back to the adrenal glands. So until the actual perceived stress is removed, this is on overdrive. So it has a massive impact on the state of our health. The good news is that the parasympathetic nervous system works in opposition to this. It works to decrease our blood pressure, decrease our heart rate, and decrease our respiratory rate. It removes blood away from the muscles back into the immune system and the digestive system. And the even better news is that yoga helps to really stimulate the parasympathetic nervous system. The best way to get the parasympathetic nervous system to activate is by taking our breath down into our belly. So by allowing our belly to rise and fall as we inhale and exhale, it actually stimulates one of the main parasympathetic nerves, the vagus nerve, and really helps to switch on the parasympathetic nervous system. So this is essentially the science behind why yoga makes you feel so good. Thank you.